Black and White Network, we are approaching almost 3 months since Bud Light actually partnered with Dylan Mulvaney. And Bud Light, the CEO the other day, was actually on CBS and actually refused to say in hindsight if he would actually still partner with Dylan Mulvaney, knowing what he actually knows now. He refused to actually answer that question. Now, I truly do believe that that partnership would not happen. I do believe that, even though Bud Light is a woke company, but now they have seen their sales just go into the trash. It's not getting better. The boycott has not stopped. I don't believe the boycott will ever stop. But he actually refused to actually answer the question. I believe that he's on borrowed time now. His job is in jeopardy. Those two marketing executives, man, they have done irreparable damage to the company and also to the distributors. The distributors, you know, they're their own company. They don't work for Bud Light. They're their own companies, and they are suffering. And it started way up there at the top at Bud Light. I don't know why they actually decided to go with a TikToker in Dylan Mulvaney, whose primary audience is children. Children. I'm talking about 10, 11, 12-year-olds, because Dylan Mulvaney likes to act like a little girl on TikTok. But the video that Dylan Mulvaney put out was actually on Instagram, when the target audience is children. Why did you actually do that, Bud Light? Now, Dylan Mulvaney also mocks women. Makes a mockery of women. Done it before. It's out there, guys. So I don't know why in the world Bud Light thought it was a good idea to do that. But they did it. Now they're actually paying the price. And it is a huge price, guys. This company's in the tank. It's done. It is over with. Now, Bud Light has tried to actually tap dance around the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. I don't even believe they've actually mentioned the name of Dylan Mulvaney at all. They were probably just hoping this thing would just go away. It hasn't gone away. Eventually, guys, they're going to have to address this thing up front with the name Dylan Mulvaney in it. They don't want to do that. They don't want to apologize at all. Now, the one person we have not heard from on the whole thing with Bud Light is Dylan Mulvaney. Until now. Shockingly, guys, almost 3 months later now, Dylan Mulvaney has now made a statement on the whole Bud Light fallout. And Dylan Mulvaney now comes out and attacks Bud Light. Also attacking you, the consumer that was insulted by this partnership. Yeah. Look here on Outkick, guys. Dylan Mulvaney breaks silence. Attacks Bud Light for not showing enough support. Yeah, because when the backlash happened, I believe Dylan Mulvaney, because there's a clip here, we're going to watch it. I believe Dylan Mulvaney actually said that he was actually trying to reach out to Bud Light, but no response. Bud Light pretty much ghosted Dylan Mulvaney. Like they didn't want to be associated with Dylan Mulvaney anymore. Well, Bud Light learned a very hard lesson in that. They just did. But let's go ahead and watch this clip here of Dylan Mulvaney. It's a few minutes long. And Dylan Mulvaney not holding back. Now, Dylan Mulvaney is addressing this thing directly here. Now, I don't believe Dylan Mulvaney actually says Bud Light, but Dylan Mulvaney does mention the can and all that other stuff. So we know exactly what Dylan Mulvaney is actually talking about here. So let's go ahead and play this clip here, guys.
Hi. One thing I will not tolerate people saying about me is that I don't like beer, because I love beer and I always have. I built my platform on being honest with you, and what I'm about to tell you might sound like old news, but you know that feeling when you have something uncomfy like sitting on your chest? Well, that's how I feel right now, so this feels like the right thing to do. I took a brand deal with a company that I loved, and I posted a sponsored video to my page. And it must have been a slow news week, because the way that this ad got blown up, you would have thought I was like on a billboard or on a TV commercial or something major. But no, It was just an Instagram video. And the wildest part is that they also sent me one can with my face on it. You might have seen it.
Yeah, we did.
And funny story, I had the can around my house, but then I realized, wait, I need to protect this can. So I hid it somewhere, and now I can't find it because I hid it so well. But when I do find it, I feel like it needs to go in a museum, preferably behind bulletproof glass. And you might be thinking, Dylan, why bring it up now? I'm bringing it up because what transpired from that video was more bullying and transphobia than I could have ever imagined. And I should have made this video months ago, but I didn't. And I was scared, and I was scared of more backlash, and I felt personally guilty for what transpired. So I patiently waited for things to get better. But surprise, they haven't really. And I was waiting for the brand to reach out to me, but they never did. And for months now, I've been scared to leave my house. I have been ridiculed in public. I've been followed. And I have felt a loneliness that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I'm not telling you this because I want your pity. I am telling you this because if this is my experience from a very privileged perspective, know that it is much, much worse for other trans people. For a company to hire a trans person and then not publicly stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all, because it gives customers permission to be as transphobic and hateful as they want. And the hate doesn't end with me. It has serious and grave consequences for the rest of our community. And you know, we're customers too. I know a lot of trans and queer people who love beer, and I have some lesbian friends who could drink some of those haters under the table. But to turn a blind eye and pretend everything is okay, it just isn't an option right now. And you might say, but Dylan, I don't want to get political. Babe, supporting trans people, it shouldn't be political. There should be nothing controversial or divisive about working with us. And I know it's possible because I've worked with some fantastic companies who care. But caring about the LGBTQ plus community requires a lot more than just a donation somewhere during Pride Month. And all this to say, bottom line is that if you follow me, if I've made you smile, if you care about me, I need you to care about every trans person. And I need you to support us, and I need you to stand by us. And hey, it's still Pride Month. So I'm going to celebrate being alive. And I'm going to celebrate the trans people in my life and the ones I haven't met yet. And I'm going to celebrate the fact that no matter how many thousands of horrible messages or news anchors misgendering me or companies going silent, that I can look in the mirror and see the woman that I am and that I love being. And I know you were probably here for the tea of it all, but I would love for something productive to come from this. So there is a link in my bio to the Trans Law Center, who is doing some wonderful work if you have the means to donate. And to the good people out there, I love ya. I really do. And cheers, but only if you're of legal drinking age. Okay, I love you. Bye.
I am curious, guys. What kind of beer is Dylan actually drinking right there, if that was even beer? Boy, Dylan Mulvaney comes out and attacks not only Bud Light, but you, the consumer of Bud Light, or, you know, ex-consumer of Bud Light. Yeah. Threw Bud Light under the bus, hoping that Bud Light would actually come out. I made a mistake. I believe I said Dylan Mulvaney tried to reach out to Bud Light, not the case. Dylan Mulvaney was hoping that Bud Light would actually reach out. Didn't happen. But why should Bud Light have actually reached out? Why? I mean, this campaign was a disaster. A complete disaster, guys. I mean, what did Dylan Mulvaney expect Bud Light to do? But at this point, you know, Bud Light, I guess, should get back on the Dylan Mulvaney train, because the real customers of Bud Light, they're done. They're out the door. Maybe Bud Light should actually go back to Dylan Mulvaney, reach out and say, hey, we need to start this partnership because we have destroyed our real customers. We need to build a new customer base now. Wow. Amazing, guys. Dylan Mulvaney out there tries to play the victim, grifting at that, trashes the customer. See Bud Light, man? You see what happened? Bud Light has pissed off everybody. Everybody. There is no going back. Bud Light is damaged goods. Dylan Mulvaney, done. It doesn't seem like, at least I haven't heard anyway about any other brands now reaching out to Dylan Mulvaney. I know they had that whole Nike thing, but I don't even know the state of that right now. Even Nike didn't get that kind of backlash with Dylan Mulvaney like Bud Light. Because I believe, when it comes to conservatives were already out on Nike. But the primary base of Bud Light was actually conservatives. And now Bud Light learned, man, we pissed off the wrong people. Before the Dylan Mulvaney boycott Bud Light, conservative boycotts were seen as weak. Like, yeah, they'll complain just for like a day or so, then they'll go back. Remember, Donald Trump Jr. tried to say, all right, let's end the boycott, let's go back. And conservatives told Donald Trump Jr. to kick rocks. It's still going strong. This is the way the right actually needs to boycott. Stick to the guns. And we have seen the Bud Light effect. It's happening everywhere now. Target got a lot of heat. Kohl's got a lot of heat. There's been others too as well. I mean, like the NHL with the whole Pride jersey thing became a distraction, they said. They banned it. And also we're seeing a whole bunch of naked men at these Pride events out there. And people are waking up. People are waking up. Even the White House took a bunch of heat when Joe Biden had this trans activist go topless at the White House. Look at what Joe Biden did. He turned the White House into that. Naked people running around like it's a Pride event where they can actually be topless. They got banned because of the backlash. People are waking up. So what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Dylan Mulvaney coming out and trashing Bud Light and the Bud Light consumer, at least the ex-consumer, calling you transphobic because you didn't like this campaign? Yeah. Bud Light is getting exactly what they deserve. Everybody is upset with Bud Light. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.